And so far, 9 of the 19 people indicted in the Georgia election probe have turned themselves in at the Fulton County Jail.
Yeah, so most of the defendants, including former President Donald Trump, have already negotiated their bond conditions with prosecutors. That way, they don't have to stay in the jail. They can get processed and released. Here's 11 Alive's Grace King to explain just exactly how that bond process works. Hey, Grace.
Well, when someone is charged with a crime, they're typically detained until their trial date or released on bond. That's, of course, what we're seeing here with the former president and his 18 co-defendants. But there are certain rules that have to be followed.
Agreements of this sort, what they're attempting to do is fit the specific moment, fit the specific defendant.
In Fulton County, former President Trump's bond is set at $200,000.
Technically, bond is the amount that someone can post. In Fulton County, it's about 10% of that amount.
That amount comes with a list of rules.
When we're dealing with someone who, for example, had a history of substance abuse, then you might see more terms in an agreement about not drinking alcohol or not engaging in unlawful substances.
Emory University law professor Fred Smith says it's typical to see bond conditions tailored to a specific individual.
If there are specific concerns based on the defendant's conduct about, say, harassing witnesses or harassing witnesses in a specific forum, then you might see conditions in a bond that are aimed at that.
The order filed in Fulton County explicitly prohibits the former president from making any social media posts or reposts that could intimidate any person known to be a co-defendant or witness in the case, or to otherwise obstruct the administration of justice. If that condition or any others are violated, prosecutors could ask the judge to revoke bond.
If that bond were revoked, it would mean that the person would have to return to jail.
And in this case, Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee has signed off on all of the consent bond orders we've seen so far. If any of the defendants are accused of violating those terms, he'd be the one to decide whether their bond should be revoked. Faith.
All right, Grace, thank you so much.